So there was a BLM rally last night in Denver, Colorado. Anti-protesters were around, some Proud Boys, some, the classic memes going on down in Denver. But what wasn't normally classic is there was a shooting at one of the rallies. We can take a look at this article for just a hot moment, and then we're going to talk about this, okay? A Denver Post staff member witnessed a fatal confrontation. The story was updated after authorities called into question the accuracy of the journalist's reporting concerning the affiliation of the shooter. One person had died, and another man, who 9 News confirmed was a private security guard, is in custody after a shooting during dueling protests Saturday in downtown Denver. One of the people who were there walked up to this private security guard. Peppers tried to bear mace pepper spray him like he's a grizzly trying to steal his picnic basket, and then he got shot. All right, I am in no place to talk about whether the shooting was justified or not. I'm not going to even try and speculate on that too much, but that's what we know so far. The shooter is in custody. The shootee is dead. This story isn't just about the shooting. This story is about the radical right. So take a stroll with me. Take a stroll with me down memory lane, and by memory lane I mean literally last night. Here's this Mallory Taylor Greene for Congress running in Georgia's 14th district, a literal person running for office. What do they have to say? This Denver shooter was a radical leftist who was hired by fake news media for a BLM event, and the murdered was a Trump supporter. Oh no, the radical left is killing Trump supporters. Who'd have thunk it? A dude in Denver was murdered by just an idea. Oh my gosh, this guy was Antifa. Lots of people jumped on this. Dinesh D'Souza, tell us, Joe Biden, this man who was shot and killed by an Antifa militant in Denver, was he murdered by just an idea? A left-wing protester at an Antifa Denver rally shot and killed a conservative participant of the Patriot rally. This follows the August killing of a Trump supporter in Portland by an Antifa shooter. Not Antifa back at it again. Paul Joseph Watson even jumped in on this. It appears as though a far-left Antifa radical just shot and killed a Trump supporter in Denver. So as you can see by the way the right is reacting to this, Antifa was there murdering Trump supporters. I mean, just look at it. Ian Miles Chong, he got the blue check mark, so what he says must be true. Antifa militiants are just looking for an excuse to kill. Do not engage with these terrorists. The police need to stop them. Even Tim Pool, the world-renowned journalist here with 11,000 likes, 4,400 retweets. Holy fuck. In the post-millennial, breaking alleged Antifa militant shoots and kills a conservative patriot in Denver. Update, further investigation has determined the suspect is a private security guard with no affiliation to Antifa. Additional information will be released as it becomes available. Play Hold Your Enthusiasm theme. This is nothing new. All right? The right loves to do this. They jump on stories immediately, as soon as they possibly can, to get out their ideology and push it as hard as possible. And even when they're proven wrong by the literal Denver police doing an investigation into it, some keep going. Literally no shame. Antifa just shot and killed a Trump supporter, this time in Denver. And then he quote tweeted after this came out. A lot of conservatives deleted their tweet when the Denver police tried to claim otherwise. At least these conservatives have a little bit more shame than Raheem Kassam, or however you pronounce this guy's name. But I stand by this claim. The guy was clearly Antifa. Whether he was working for security or not, the question is why local CNN, NBC affiliate is hiring an Antifa. So I don't care if the police investigating this, who have more information than I probably will ever know in my entire life, say that this guy isn't Antifa. He's Antifa as long as I believe he is. And Ian Miles decided to chime in as well. Yep, kept mine up as well. They're proud. They're proud in how wrong they are. This isn't anything new. I remember there was a shooting going that happened, I believe it was last year, and the same sort of clowns jumped on this as well. And they were saying, oh my gosh, radical Muslim terrorists destroying everything, ending lives. We have to ban all the Muslims because we have to ban the Quran from existing, ban it from the minds of the poor, malleable people in this world. Radical Islam is destroying the Western world. And the guy's name was like Muhammad or something, and he was white and he wasn't even Muslim or something along those lines. And they just ran with it anyways. They didn't even care. They didn't even care. Or, so there are two people, right? The ones who said that this was Antifa when the story was just breaking, when they had literally no information that it was, said it, okay? And then they went back on it and deleted their tweets. It's those, or what the people who I want to stick on now, the people trying to save face after that they were proven wrong, and prove as much as they possibly can that this guy was actually Antifa when there was literally no information to prove that he was. Take a stroll with me. This person here doing some expert level journalism. As you can see, this guy has a Galactica tattoo on his right wrist. See here, the Galactica tattoo. And what is the Galactica tattoo? Obviously, the signal of an Antifa member, Space Invaders Against Oppression. Look at it. Space Invaders Against Racism. As you see, when you are against racism, this means that you are an Antifa. Space Invaders Against Racism. I think I have this actually pulled up. Let me see if I can find it for you all. Can I get? Yeah, here it is. Here's like a bigger picture of like everything these people have. So look, it's Space Invaders, right? Apparently this is some Antifa group. I don't know where, I don't know when. The page originally loaded in German, so I'm honestly thinking this is a page from Germany. That I don't know what a dude in Portland has to do with a page from Germany. Does, because I had to translate this entire page. But you know, whatever. I mean, they'll pull up anything out of their ass if it makes like a tiny bit of sense to them. Space Invaders Against Racism, against sexism, fascism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, lookism, transphobia, borders, law and order. There you go. Look at them. Smash fascism. Look at that. Smash sexism. There you go. So yes, apparently these guys are saying that this guy, because of his tattoo, is actually connected to Antifa. They're telling us this security guard is, he's just a security guard and he's not affiliated with Antifa. Look at the tattoo. So if you remember the tattoos that we just looked at, those tattoos said Space Invaders Against Racism. If this guy's tattoo is what we think it is, then it would literally just say racism. Which I don't think is unless the tattoo is so expensive for him, because you know he's a basement dwelling Antifa a loser still living with mom who's eating pizza rolls, who decided to finally get a job because people who are Antifa are also weak and poor, but also very rich and connected to like George Soros and have a militia group with many guns and many supplies to go everywhere across the country. And he has to get the tattoo in two parts, so he just got racism instead of the Space Invaders Against Racism. Or, which is more likely, they're lying. So where did the tattoo come from? You know, they're trying to make this out to be this guy's Proud Boy tattoo, right? Where did this tattoo come from? Well, actually, this guy runs a collective. He runs a DJ collective. And we can take a look at that DJ collective real quick right here. Take a look. Would you look at that? Huh. Does that look familiar to you? Submission is what the DJ collective is called. It's almost like they completely pulled this out of their ass and they're lying about where this tattoo came from to try and make themselves think that they're looking at an Antifa member here. This isn't anything new. Now, a lot of these people, Tim Pool has been backpedaling real hard. Tim Pool's been backpedaling real hard on this one. After this came out, he's been going through some like real serious cleanup duty, trying to make it sound like he wasn't completely wrong on this one, you know? Oh, holy fuck. Denver police say it's not Antifa. Oh, after I tweeted out that it was Antifa. Remember what this tweet got? 12,000 likes, 4,000 retweets. What did this get? 2,000 likes, 400 retweets. The copium. Oh, no, no. Local news outlets, private security, suspect of killing Trump supporter. You know, they look at the cleanup duty. Seems like the news outlet is responsible for killing the Trump supporter. Now he's shifting the blame because he can't blame Antifa anymore. Now he has to switch to the next new enemy, the enemy of the people, the news outlets. And now what they're trying to say, right, is they're pretty active leftists because they support BLM, they support protests as a DJ collective. Now this means that they're radical Antifa. Now that this means that they're leftist radicals. So it's not just specifically Antifa. Now they're going to gesture vaguely at just the left with this one. Now they're active leftists for being anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti-police brutality. Listen, at least they said it themselves. That left-wing tendencies are, against bad things. I wonder what that leaves to conservatives, because he can't be conservative with all this. The Denver shooter is a vocal Bernie supporter, leftist, and Occupy activist. Doesn't seem to be Antifa affiliated. So this is what they're doing. He's just a leftist, right? And look at this cope. The Denver PD fucked up bad by not having the ability to Google this. Look at that ricochet within hours, a single day. This story isn't even a day old. It isn't even 24 hours old, and they're already gone through like, it's Antifa, it's not Antifa, they're leftist. Well, they're not really leftist, but they're kind of left wing. They support like protests. So this is now it's not my fault for perpetuating an unfinished developing story and lying to people and saying that they were Antifa. Now it's the police department's fault for not using Google. Very interesting. This is just what they do. They lie, and when their lies are found out to be as brazen as they are, and they can't stick to them as much, they kind of tangentially wave at something else in the distance that still makes them feel right, while not actually making them back off of their original point. These are bad people. Tim Pool is a bad person. Andy No, the other people who are in this are bad people. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about factual evidence. They don't care about unbiased news. They care about pushing a political ideology by any means necessary. And this is why they're dangerous. They have nothing to lose, and their fans are hell-bent on lying about whatever they possibly can to make it so that their political opponents are as demonized as possible. They want you to be a terrorist. They want you to be locked in Gitmo. They want you to be thrown in jail. They want you to be executed in the street, and they have a team of people online to lie about you after you're shot and dead. That's what it is. That's what these people are, and that's what they support. And this is why they have to be stopped. Their ideology has to be stopped, because if nothing else, they're going to keep perpetuating misinformation and making it so that people who actually want to tell the real truth get buried under people like Tim Pool getting 12,000 likes for throwing up the most sensational headline. And this guy is the one who goes on his podcast afterwards to talk about how damaging the 24-hour news cycle is, and how the mainstream media get it wrong, and all it's independent media that's really right now. And while he's tweeting out shit like this and then going back and forth on a mental roller coaster because he doesn't care about waiting until he gets like proper information about what actually happened. He doesn't care about you. He cares about what's in his wallet. Yeah.